A long time ago, there were already people living in Taiwan. There are the 16 Aboriginal tribes, and the biggest is the Amis. The traditional territory of Amis includes the long, narrow valley between the Central Mountains and the Coastal Mountains, as we now call the Huatun Valley.
The biggest festival of Amis is Ilisen. The custom comes from the Aboriginal folktale. Once, there were two brothers named Maya and Onak. As they grew up, they faced the challenge of their life, the headhunting of the coming-of-age ceremony. Worried about their future, they turned to their father for help.
Then, their father came up with the idea. He told the brothers to go find out who was making the river muddy and take his life. When the brothers set out to investigate, their father disguised himself in white and go upstream to act like someone who was making the river muddy. The brothers found him and chopped the person's head off. But they soon found out that the person was their father. They felt upset and regret. So whenever they harvest, they would make a sacrifice for their father. Ilisen in Amis language means forbidden. Amis forbid that tragedy to happen again.
Of the CITIC is the Wushe incident. It happened in 1930 when Taiwan was Japan's colony. Even though the cause of the incident was because the CITIC had a fight with the police. But the main reason was because the Japanese treated the CITIC horribly bad for a long time. Many people died during the incident. Therefore, this was the worst event ever for the CITIC.
The CITIC have many festivals. The most important ones are the Sowi Festival and Harvest Festival. During the Sowi Festival and Harvest Festival, if someone died, they have to change another day to finish the ceremony. While the Harvest Festival is being conducted, nobody is allowed to get close to it, except only the sacrificing group is allowed. The other clan members aren't allowed to enter there. The CITIC is an interesting indigenous group.
We hope you've enjoyed our presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Taiwan was the birthplace of bubble tea. Actually, this unique drink was accidentally created in Chunshuigang Tea House in Taichung. The original creator is the tea house's product development manager, Lin Xiuhui. Wikipedia indicates that she poured the sweetened pudding with tapioca balls into the iced tea drink during a meeting in 1998.
Different from Chunshuigang Tea House, Hanling Tea Room in Tainan used white tapioca balls. This is why the bubble tea is also called pearl milk tea. Shortly after, it replaced the white tapioca balls with the black ones. At first, no one had heard of this unfamiliar drink. It finally made a name for itself when a Japanese TV show introduced it to the world.
Since we mentioned tapioca balls several times, it is time for us to introduce it to you. Tapioca balls are usually made of Japanese potato starch, brown sugar, and water.
First, melt the brown sugar with boiling water, then add the potato starch. Stir the ingredients evenly and wait for it to cool down. Last, shape it into small pieces.
Phalaenopsis is a kind of orchids, also known as monk orchids or butterfly orchids. It is considered as the queen of orchids. Phalaen means butterfly, and opsis means to view in ancient Greek. Its shape is just like a butterfly. In nature, the flower species is typically found in warm climates. It is native to many countries, such as China, Taiwan, Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia.
Moth orchids usually bloom in spring or summer. Taiwanese merchants use artificial biotechnology to make its blossom season become earlier during Chinese New Year. The moth orchid is one of the most popular orchids in the trade among many artificial hybrids. It has become more and more popular in Taiwan. Every year, there is an exhibition in Tainan called Taiwan International Orchid Show in March. It has become one of the top 3 international orchid shows around the world. Right now, Taiwan and the world has started to use more techniques to create better species.
Example, people worship during many different festivals. On the other hand, believing in a religion sometimes can edify people, helping us to improve ourselves and to atone for the mistake that we make by praying to our God. Last, there are many charities that are funded by religions, such as the Tzu Chi Foundation of Buddhism and the World Vision International of Christianity. So, having freedom of religion is really important.
The disadvantages of freedom of religion are that we must respect other religions because there are a lot of different taboos and we have to be more careful not to offend others. It also creates a paradox because we need to be tolerant. Most religions are anti-gay and some oppress women. But in a Western liberal democracy which promotes freedom of religion, we still have to be tolerant of beliefs that are completely contradictory to our core values. Religion is really
Taroko National Park is located in eastern Taiwan in Hualien. It's about 920 square kilometers.
The Taroko Gorge took shape when the Liu River eroded the limestone for a long time until 4 billion years ago. Valleys then finally formed. The main terrains there are mountains over 2,000 meters high and deep valleys.
Before Taiwan appeared above the ocean, limestone was already under the sea. When Taiwan finally came up from the sea, limestones came up too. About 70 million years ago, the big rocks were burst up to become mountains. At the same time, the continents kept rising, taking the mountains higher and higher. When the valleys became deeper and deeper, the deepest one became the Taroko Gorge.
The natural environment also provides habitats for lots of precious and even endangered species to live in. The most familiar one is the Taiwan macaque, a kind of native monkey. They have white fur on their stomach, black fur on their back and limbs. Because 90% of the park is mountains, it also nurtures broadleaf forests and coniferous forests.
Taiwanese both came from Fujian and Guangdong, and they both came to Taiwan 450 to 350 years ago secretly because of the no crossing to Taiwan command. During the Qing Empire, Emperor Kangxi was fighting with Zheng Chenggong in the Taiwan Strait, so he commanded all the people who lived nearby the ocean to back away 10 kilometers. But people couldn't live without fish, so they decided to cross the ocean. Before all this, Hakkanese were used to live in hills and mountains. And now they are mostly separated in Hsinchu and Miaoli counties. Taiwanese are now spread out all over Taiwan.
The Hakka language is really different from the Taiwanese language, and there are more than 12 kinds of accents. But most Hakka in Taiwan speaks Sixian, Haidu, Dapu, Raoping, and Shaoan accents. In Taiwanese, there are 2 accents, Daibun and Daiwanwei. Daibun is the traditional one, but after people were living in Taiwan for 400 years, the traditional language had changed into Daiwanwei.
Malkou. Near the suburbs of Taipei, there's a famous gondola in the Malkou Mountain. The name of Malkou is come from the geography, which is an eddy mill nearby. An eddy mill is created by a river scoring the rocks, so it looks like rough faces. Taiwanese call rough faces Mao Mian, and this is why it's called Malkou. Yangmingshan National Park. Yangmingshan National Park is one of the 9 national parks in Taiwan. It is famous for its beautiful cherry blossoms, hot springs, and sulfur deposits, as well as for having the tallest dormant volcano in Taiwan, Silver Star Mountain. It became a national park in 1985. Even though its elevation is only from 200 to 1,120 meters, it still has a variety of vegetation. You can go there to enjoy the fresh air and the beautiful flowers. Daliaocheng. Due to its harbor, Daliaocheng was one of the busiest cities in Taiwan during the Qing Dynasty ruling period and the period of Japanese occupation. When the export of tea